Okay, so you're interested in D&D. Maybe you've heard people talking about it a lot. Maybe you've been watching videos about it on social media, or you've played Baldur's Gate 3, or maybe you just have some friends that play and you've got questions like, what is D&D? How do you play Dungeons and Dragons? And why is it so popular? Well, if that's the case, this video is for you because this is going to be your intro to Dungeons and Dragons. Let's dive in. Now, I want to acknowledge something right up front. D&D is a big, complex game, and it's a big, complex gaming culture. And I know it can be pretty intimidating for people that are new to it. So I'm going to create this video series broken up into bite-sized chunks, and I'm going to keep it really simple and straight to the point. I also just want to say, I know there's a lot of other videos out there introducing you to Dungeons and Dragons, but a lot has changed in the game and the culture in the last few years, and I wanted to make an updated video series so that you get all the newest and best information. So let's start with the basic question. What is D&D? Well, I'm going to answer this a little bit differently than probably any other video you've seen. I want you to imagine that you're going to a friend's house to hang out with some people you really like. It's going to be a great time. Maybe there's going to be some food there. Maybe you're going to play some games together, or maybe you're even going to watch a movie together or play a video game together. Either way, you're getting to spend some time doing something really fun with your friends. But then when you show up, the host has a surprise for all of you. They have this new technology where they have a video game that you can all play together. And it's like this huge open world video game with all this stuff to explore and all these NPCs in it. You can do almost anything. But the new technology they have is like a little chip that you just stick on your head. And when you do, you are immersed in this world like a VR setting. You get inside and everything's amazing. There's an entire world for you and your friends to explore. You're all in there together. It's not a competitive game. You're actually going to work together. And there's a plot that the host has created. And you have to kind of work your way through the story. But you're not locked in. You get to control what your character does. So even though something like, say, Lord of the Rings is cool, that's a plot that's kind of defined and you have to go along. This is so different. You don't know what's going to happen. You might, as a group, win the day, or you might lose. The world is going to change because of your actions. And the coolest part is you're on this adventure with your friends. I want you to imagine how awesome that would be. It's got all the cool elements. You're in a story, you're playing a game, you're with your friends, you're laughing, you're having fun, and you're completely immersed in this. That is basically what Dungeons and Dragons is like, except it's not a video game or VR. It happens in your imagination and through talking to each other across the table. Now, another one of the questions I brought up at the beginning of this video is, why is it so popular? And my answer to that would be, did you hear what I just described? That sounds like the coolest game I've ever played in my life. So another question we talked about is, you might ask, well, how do you play Dungeons and Dragons? Because you said it's not actually a VR chip or a video game, so what does play look like? That's actually a bigger topic that I'm going to cover in the next video in this series. If you want to see that, make sure you click the subscribe button. But for now, what I'll say is this. This game is primarily played in your imagination and also through talking to each other. The host of the party that I just described is what's called the Dungeon Master or the DM. And they do a lot of things, but one of their jobs is to create the entire world around you. The same way the software would create that world around you if you were playing a video game or a VR game. They're going to have a ton of notes and books and things in front of them. And in there, they've got descriptions of basically everything around you. And also every person and character you might meet and every monster you might come into conflict with. So they'll describe the scenario to you and they'll tell you where your character is and what you see around you. And then you're going to describe to them what your character would do. And then in turn, they're going to tell you what happens when your character does that. Now, yes, there are dice and there are character sheets. And again, I'm going to cover that in the next few videos. But in general, that's the way the game runs. So it's a few hours of having a party and going on an imaginary adventure with your friends while you're telling stories and joking and talking about all the things that happen. And as you're doing all that, you get to roll really cool looking dice. Now, if this video helped you understand D&D just a little bit better, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and maybe share it with other new players or people that are interested in D&D that might want to know the same thing. Till next time, happy gaming.